B27 target's been around for a long time, and it sucks. It's very popular, and it became popular through this competition called PPC, Practical Pistol Competition, which was supposed to be a combat course, and became a highly stylized revolver course. Everything based around, shooting a revolver, and we're talking tricked out revolvers with heavy barrels, shooting, wad cutter loads, and all the way out to 50 yards. And, don't get me wrong, some of those shooters were fabulous marksmen. I met Modesto Cartagena out here at this range about 20 years ago, and he was a customs officer. Sniper in Vietnam, and he's a distinguished expert at PPC. I mean, he was running, I think 1596 scores out of 1600. So it's a great competition target, but it sucks for firearms training, for self-defense training. Why? Because the X is in the wrong place. You've heard the term center of mass, and it came from this target because that X is in the exact center of the mass of that torso. And it's in the wrong place anatomically. If you look at me and you look at that target, my heart's up here. That X is down here. So you're practicing gut shooting people. The idea behind this is that, we're expecting people to miss. And if they aim at that X, a few shots go high, a few shots go low, eventually something vital will get hit. But, you're predicating your training on missing, which is not the way to go. We need to be aiming for the right place. So let's go forward and let me talk to you a little bit more about it. All right, so I've put the B27 over me and the head's on my head, and here we have the X-ring. So I'm going to keep my finger on that X-ring so you can see where that is on me. My belly button's here, so the X-ring is 2 inches above the belly. So you're gut shooting people. You put rounds into people's, abdomen, you're going to get no stopping effect unless you're lucky enough to hit the spine or the major blood-bearing vessels that are near the spine. So stop that. Don't do it. If your agency bought 300,000 of these back in 1973 and you're kind of stuck with them, then just use a different aiming point. So if we look at these, think about where the armpit is on this guy. It's probably right about here. Draw a line across. Where is that? All right, so we got the 9 ring, or the 9 number. So I would, when I have to use B27s, I just tell my students they need to aim, between the 8 and the 9, getting an upper chest hit, upper torso, thoracic cavity hit. So think about that. But, there's so many good targets out there that there's no need for this. I'm also not fond of just blank, blah targets. How does this really prepare you for shooting a human being? You're not looking into his eyes. You don't have any real features to look at. I'm not impressed. This is even worse. This goes back to, this is older than I am, and I'm over a half century old. Old target, I think Colt came up with this. It's from like the 30s. At least the circle's in a better spot, but once again, we just got a blank person, maybe he has a weapon, I don't know. Nowadays, we have targets like this that are anatomically correct. Now, this is VTAC, and Kyle Lamb's done some interesting stuff. And now we've got something that actually looks like a human being, and when you fire, you know where your bullets are going. So all right, that bullet, just went into his guts, or that bullet went into his liver, or that bullet hit his spine after passing through his heart. So this gives you a much better idea of what's going on. And, they're the same price. There's no reason not to have these. And there's others good ones also. So I like photorealistic targets myself because they're actual people. But and some of them will actually have the organs and the structural stuff very lightly delineated on the target, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking for. Go to letargets.com, and they will have plenty of targets that meet those type of criteria. So, I'm Peter Burlingame of the Self-Defense Initiative. This is another Thursday's Tactical Training Tip. Please subscribe and tell your friends about us. And be safe out there.